What's up, everyone? This is Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. Who's out there with me today? How are you? Today is Friday. Yeah, y'all, today is Friday. This is our laid back day. I was on 10 yesterday, but today is Friday, September the 11th, 2020. September the 11th. I know y'all remember that date, September the 11th. So let's pray for all of those families today, even when we get started today. It's September the 11th. Yeah, how many years is that? Does anybody remember, if you're tuning in, how many years ago was that? Good morning, Brenda Randleman. Good morning, Kelly. How many years ago was that? Was that 91? September the 11th. If y'all remember how long ago that was, put that in the comment section. But yeah, we have September the 11th. 21. Wow, thanks. Good morning, Deborah. Thank you. All right, y'all, it's Friday. It's been a great week. It's been a news in motion week, to say the least. 2001. Okay, so 19 years then. It's been 19 years. Thank you for that, Deborah. Yep, 2001. Good morning, Rosanna Bivens. Good morning, Jacqueline. Good morning. The year I quit my job. That's a good way to remember, right? Good morning, Golden Gibbs. Good morning, people. Wow, all of you are awake on a Friday morning. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning. All right, y'all know today is Friday. I pretty much laid back, answered some questions, give you a little bit of news, but I still have another resource to give you today as well. So if y'all ready, let's get started. First of all, I received a news release. I was a French major. Oh, you were a French major. That's right, Deborah. You was traveling the world. You were balling. You were the boss lady. I received a press release. I get, y'all know I get all these different press releases, and I thought this one was interesting, so I want to start with this morning. It was a release from Global Citizen, and if you have not checked them out, check them out. I believe they're globalcitizen.org. I'm not promising you, but it's either .org, .com, or .net. Pick one. So check out Global Citizen. Anyway, they have now get this, y'all. They have 6 young Portuguese activists who are suing European countries over climate change. Now, so y'all, that right there are 6 young Portuguese. When I say young, I'm talking about the ages of 8 years old and 21 years old. So when I talk about that, we can formalize movements. We can join movements. We can come together and do the work, do civic engagement work. It doesn't matter the age. It does not matter the age. But this just struck me because they're doing it. They sued European countries. Now, here's what they're going to say. 6 Portuguese children and young adults who have faced deadly wildfires and heat waves they just did this on yesterday. Yesterday, filed a lawsuit against 33 countries with European Court of Human Rights. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning, Pastor Alex. And they're claiming that the government inaction on climate change jeopardizes their future. Y'all, and I start out with that story this morning. Again, it's on Global Citizen. But I start out with that story this morning to encourage us. Some of us say, oh, we can't do that, or we're not in the political game, or we don't have any support. These are 6 young people from the age of 8, E-I-G-H-T, 8 years old to 21 years old. They sued 33 countries. They filed a lawsuit on yesterday. And they did it with the European Court of Human Rights, claiming government inaction on climate change jeopardizes their future. If y'all go back to last week where I talked about you have to put together your case statement. Good morning, Marion. You have to put together your case statement. These are facts. This is where you are today and where you're going. Whether that's 30 days, 60 days, 120 days, 6 months, 48 months, whatever that is, you put together that case, you put together your facts. So someone asked a question. So I start off with that because someone asked a question. Let me finish reading that part too with them. It says the applicants aged between 8 and 21, which I shared, want the government to ramp up efforts to curb planet heating emissions, saying failure to do so threatens their lives and well-being. Okay, so that's their mission statement. So someone asked the question, well, how long does your mission statement have to be? Your mission statement needs to be so bold and so powerful, but you really need to do that within 25 words or less. Your mission statement, your cause, what it is that you're doing, it has to be power-packed. Remember I shared last week, you have about 3 minutes to catch their attention. And it's more powerful if you can do it in less than 3. So you have to be very strong with your statement. This is your case statement. Go back to the videos from last week. This is your case statement. You're making a case. So these 6 young people, age 8 to 21, I'm going to keep saying that, they said they want the government to ramp up efforts to curb planet heating emissions, saying failure to do so threatens their lives and well-being. Power packed is right there. They filed this yesterday, y'all. And they said it was several hours, so I don't know what that means, and I'm thinking probably about 5 to 7, maybe 8 hours. They raised over $500,000 because these 6 children made a case. Well, 6 children and a couple millennials together, children and millennials together, they made a case. So we can do those things right here. What's that, Shelly? We can do those things right here, y'all. We have to have our case. So again, the question was, what does a mission statement look like? It's about 25 words or less. It has to be power-packed. And here's this. You don't need to have, because I see these. I used to be a grant writer, a proposal writer for grants. Years ago, yes, I fundraise. You burn out quickly in that field. I've raised millions and millions upon millions of dollars. That life for me is over. And then I turned to being a grant reader, where I was reading the proposals of other people, and I did that even this year with the Women's Fund. So I sit on a panel and I read grants, community grants, and I'm gonna just talk about that for a moment. I told you this is Friday, just do whatever I want today. So when we're reading these proposals, be careful that when you're writing them, you're not just putting fillers in there. Because we know, those of us who have written proposals and have read grants, we know when you're filling them up with stuff. And that turns off the grant readers. We're the people, in foundation terms, not Congress terms, but in foundation terms, we have the power of the purse when we're reading grants. So either you're going to get it or you're not going to get it. And if we're asking way too many questions, you're probably not going to get it. Now, let me give you an example. This is why it's important for there to be a diverse platform. I was one of there was probably, 100 grant readers this past July. I was one of maybe 3 Black or brown people. And it was due to capacity. And the Women's Fund is great. They're great with getting a diverse platform. But even with that, I was reading some of the grants. I can't name them or whatever because they haven't been awarded yet. But I was reading through some of the grants, and we were in smaller groups. They break you down into smaller groups, and they give you so many organizational grants to read. So I was reading, going through the grants, reading them. And in my group, people were quick to say, nope, not that. And I said, hold up a minute. We're talking about food insecure. We're talking about an impoverished neighborhood. Nope, we need to get back over here. Maybe they did not have the tools or the resources to effectively write this proposal. So we're getting ready to put this on the table. And I sat there and argued the case. And so you have to have some I can argue you down. Y'all know I was supposed to be an attorney, right? The reason I never did it was because I believed I could never pass the bar because I'm a horrible test taker. I had to take my test orally, even in school. Seriously. Full transparency. But I could argue a case and win. I could have been probably one of them attorneys that everybody called on to go and argue the case because we would win. But I sat there with that group and I said, no. By the time we were done, and you have about 30 minutes for each grant that you're reading, I had everybody then on board with me. We were like, yep, give them their money. And then I also said, but not only give them their money, somebody come alongside them and teach them. They see a cause, they see a need, teach them. And by the way, no matter where you are, and I know we are covering 50 states and we even have several different countries that view this, whether it's on the YouTube or here. But the other thing I want to share with you is that there are tools and resources out there on how to do some of these things. Even if it's a one-time proposal, a one-time grant, people say, well, you have to have a 501c3. Yes and no. Yes and no. You can also be have a fiscal agent and go through what is called a pass-through. I'm taking y'all another direction. Forgive me, but I'm gonna do a webinar on this one day, or do it on the podcast that we're doing now. But yes, you don't have to have a designated 501c3. You can have a fiscal agent and pass through another organization. That can happen. Yeah, so don't be afraid of that. So I wanted to start off with that. The other thing, someone asked a question on yesterday. They sent me a question. They said, do you know who the 20 names are for Supreme Court nomination if the occupant of the Oval has an opportunity to name a Supreme Court judge? I said, well, praise be to God, we almost to October, so I don't know if that's even going to happen before November the 3rd. But, hey, they've been doing some tricky things lately. I said, right now, there's nobody who's passed away. So hopefully, we can hold on. We can hold on until the election. But here's something I want to point out to you. And there were 20 names that were released on Wednesday. There were 20 names on that list. And this is how important it is for you to vote. And if you are not a registered voter, to make sure you register to vote. On that list are the names of Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz, and Senator Tom Cotton. That should make you very uncomfortable to see those are two of the names that are on that list. So let that sink in for a moment. If nothing else, that should be reason enough to register to vote and to make sure you vote. Those two names alone. And if you look at the list, and you can just Google the 20 names. These names were released on Wednesday. If you Google the 20 names, if you just put in the search bar 20 names for Supreme Court nominees, you will see the 20. And you will see the pictures. And you would be very, very concerned. Very concerned. So that's the reason why we vote. Someone else asked the question, how many books have dropped? I'm like, they're dropping them like they're hot. That's for sure. This week alone, we had Disloyal that dropped, we had Rage that dropped, and we have Compromise that dropped. I have read most of Rage, and that's by Bob Woodward. Trust me, you want to get that book. You want to get that book. I have not read Disloyal. I've kind of like skimmed through Disloyal. Also, I saw Mitch McConnell, not sure how true. Yeah, I didn't see Mitch McConnell, so I don't know. I didn't see him on the list of 20, so I don't know. So not unless there's a couple lists that are floating around there. But I didn't see him on there. Disloyal. And the thing is, I believe Michael Cohen now, but my problem is, dude, you was a part of it. But since he was a part of it, I do want the information. So those were 3 books. Compromise was a former Intel or FBI agent. I'm not for sure which one. And I can't think of his name right off the bat either. Also we had Sarah Huckabee Sanders' book that dropped as well this week. So 4 books dropped this week. The book that I am loving at the moment is Rage. Melania and Me was very good. And here's my take on these books. So someone said, well, what's your take on them? My take on Melania and Me is that here was an insider, a friend of the wife, not necessarily a friend of the husband, but the friend of the wife. So the friend of the first lady. she has some inside information. Now, people say, well, she was wrong. She wasn't being a friend. Well, no, the other person dropped the friendship first and said, I'm sorry, we have to do this to you. And that has been confirmed that she said that on the phone, that Melania said that on the phone to Stephanie, that she said those things. So, so that book was really good. Rage is fire. I have not read Compromise, and I've read just a little bit of Michael Cohen's book. So if you are a reader, check them out. Check out one of them. If you were to check out one of them, check out Rage, period. That's the one, Rage. The next thing was, we're getting into the fall season. We're getting close to the election. Anxiety is on the rise. What can we do? Well, I still believe in self-care. I do. I really do believe in self-care. I've given you tons of resources. I've given you tons of resources. Now, I did not give you the resources to overwhelm you. And if I've overwhelmed you, I would apologize, but I'm not, because I wanted you to have all the different websites, links, URLs, etc. I wanted you to have all of those things. You get to choose which one you use. The one I gave you yesterday, let me see if I can pull it back up. The one I gave you yesterday called Vote.org, which I've been giving that to you over the last several months. That's really a one-stop shop. Again, you get all the tools and resources. You can check your registration. You can register to vote. You can request your vote by mail application. You can get election reminders. You can get your polling place locator. You can register to become a poll worker. You can complete your 2020 census there. So vote.org is your one-stop shop. It really is. So that if you're looking for one place to do everything, I would suggest you go to that particular website. The one I'm going to give you today, so write this down. The one I'm going to give you today, this is one you really want to share with your 18 to 29-year-olds in your life. And that is called headcount.org. So somebody put that in there, please. And please make sure you put the www dot so people can just easily click on it. But it's headcount.org. So www.head, H-E-A-D, count, COUNT.org. Now, why do I say this is for 18 to 29 years old? They have created their entire platform around concerts and music, period. Any kind of music, any kind of concerts, and these are virtual. There are some listening sessions, and what they do, they pay. Some positions they pay, some are volunteer. Thank you for putting that down there, for putting that in there, Marian. They pay. They gather these young people, and they're encouraging people during the concerts. Again, virtual. There's a couple listening sessions, and they get people to register to vote right there on the virtual platform. So you really want to check that out. You really want to check that out. So that's headcount.org. They're giving that information to a lot of colleges, universities, high schools for those who are 18 to get them to register to vote. So there's that. The coronavirus numbers. These are so ugly. Again, the World Health Organization, that question came up again, and I try to share that. They say, why do I go? Because I bypassed the CDC, because the World Health Organization, they have the numbers right away. The moment that the numbers are put into any system on the health platform, it goes to the World Health Organization. And that's why I have I have a challenge with the U.S. pulling out of WHO. So, because they'll get all that information up front. And after the tapes were released, we will want them to get all the information up front so that we can stay in the know. But there are 6,588,163 cases. There are 196,328 deaths. There are, and I just want to say again, he knew that. He knew. There are 3,879,960 that have recovered. I don't know if you've seen the news, but last Friday, a 28-year-old teacher tested positive, female teacher tested positive. I don't have her name in front of me. And then on this past Monday, she died from COVID. Third grade teacher. That happened. NBC News reports that Dr. Fauci says U.S. needs to hunker down for the fall and winter. I believe him. I believe him. He says, and was the quote, as the United States heads into flu season, Americans can't let up the fight against the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, Dr. Anthony Fauci said on Thursday. Although the number of new daily cases of coronavirus in the U.S. have slowly been declining over the last 2 weeks, the country is still closing in on 200,000 deaths from COVID-19 and more than 6 million confirmed infections. So, y'all, we have to be mindful of that. And let me give you, I don't know if y'all ever, and this is probably more of a women's piece, but purewow.com. Phenomenal site. I've been looking at their site for the past 3 or 4 years now. Pure Wow, that's Pure wow.com. Purewow.com. They give 8 doctors recommended ways to avoid getting sick this fall. And they're really talking about the flu, especially the flu and the coronavirus. They're saying you don't want both of those at the same time. And I believe them. So here's 8 ways. This is just fun. You know, this is Friday. I'm laid back on Friday. Number 1, wash your hands with soap and water and do so frequently. Number 2, use hand sanitizer when soap and water are not available. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Flu shot, pneumonia shot, and I'm asking a question here. That's your choice. It's not mine. You have to think about your health and what conditions you have currently. Take vitamin C daily, especially if you are experiencing stress. So I would say everybody that's watching this need to take vitamin C because I think we all have some sort of stress right now. It says consider adding a vitamin D supplement. Use disinfectant wipes. Hopefully you can find some because I can't find them anywhere. And then they say eat a healthy, balanced diet. Yes, y'all, that's all those fruits and vegetables, those leafy greens we're supposed to be eating. And they say do lean protein. So, and I also share this list because when we come back here on Monday for News in Motion, we are less than 50 days away from the election. And I believe we're only going to see things intensify. We got to keep educating people. We got to keep sharing. We got to keep telling people the truth, as I was sharing with you the other day. We have to keep doing those things. Watch the news, but you know, there's those of us who we're in it. We're in it. This is our calling. We're in it. So we're watching it. But if you start feeling your blood pressure go up or you become angry, back off, back away. And we can't live off of sugar and soda and the desserts and the pizzas. You know, those things are fine. But we need to think about what's going to keep me healthy in the long run. What does that look like? Get an appointment with your doctor. Do a virtual appointment with your doctor. Talk with somebody. And then the other thing is, y'all, mental health is real. Mental health is real. So if you know that you're going through something, pause. Yeah, prayer changes things, but beyond prayer, if you need to speak with someone, if you need to sit down with a therapist, do so. If you need to call a therapist, do so. There's not a stigma behind that. There's not a stigma behind that at all. At all, there's not. I'm grateful that I have some friends I can call. One is Stephanie Bright. I'm like, look, Stephanie, I need to talk to you for a minute. You know, help me, talk me off the ledge here for a moment. Though that's real, y'all. We have to be ready. We have to be ready. So I've given you an entire week of resources. Really, 3 weeks. I've given you nothing but resources. Now it's time for action. It's now time for action. Some of you have told me you have a plan. Great. Now help your friends get a plan. Help them get a plan. I really need us all to work together here. For the win today, for the win, I'm almost done, for the win. Y'all, all direct support care that has worked through the pandemic. A friend of mine, someone I went to high school with, Diane Ladybug, she's in Central Ohio. She works for Goodwill. And their programs reopened in May. And along with her coworkers, managers, support living, staff work every day within the community of friends and those who are disabled. I think sometimes it's so easy for us to forget those who are disabled, but we cannot forget them. We cannot forget. You're right. Now is the time for action. Let's work together. And that's a key word, together. Together. We're not an island, y'all. We have to do this collaboratively. We have to partner with people. But y'all, we sometimes forget about those who are disabled. So for the win, I just really want to give a shout out, a kudos, we got your back to everyone with the direct support care. Together, and I was just digging into Goodwill. Together they are winning each day to bless the people they serve. Goodwill is so much more besides the thrift stores that y'all know we all hang out every now and then. Deborah, you still on here? You know, I see you at Goodwill up here in Powell, Ohio. But I just called you out. Thrift stores and their auto auction and things like that. We're talking about life skills. We're talking about with Goodwill empowering those who are disabled. See, y'all, once again, voting, elections, all of that is so much more to it. It is so much more to it. It's about these 501c3 nonprofit organizations, the 501c4. It's about all of these movements that are taking place. It's about getting the knowledge and getting the understanding and what that looks like. All right, I need a big favor from all of you, and I want to thank you for all those who saw the call to action on my wall last night. But I still need your help, and I'm going to tell you why. You know that my Powell Boutique, y'all, Powell, Ohio, is the bomb Goodwill. I shouldn't tell y'all that, but it is. I need a big favor. Now, I want to tell you why. And I need your help. There's a sponsor who wants to sponsor News in Motion. It's a serious sponsor. Please hear me. It's a sponsor. It's a serious sponsor. But I need my numbers on YouTube to exceed 1,000. And so I need all of you to go to my YouTube, and somebody put this link in there. It's www.youtube.com/Gail Dudley. And that's Gail, D as in David, U, D as in David, Ley. So www.youtube.com/Gail Dudley. I need these numbers up, y'all, in a short time span. We have until like next Wednesday to have these numbers to that place, and we will go to my conversation with my attorney to talk about this sponsorship. They're thinking what we're doing here with News in Motion and how they're seeing, we were able to give them snapshots of my Facebook thread and how they're seeing the interaction. They're like, they haven't seen anything like this, but they said they need to see my YouTube numbers up. Y'all, if we do that collectively, can you imagine the impact we will have with other people with disseminating this information? Thank you, y'all, for putting the link up. Y'all, and it's not just about me. It's not. Y'all know that. Y'all should know that by now. We've been hanging out for 14 weeks. This is not just about me. It's about getting the truth. It's about getting people to remove the scales from their eyes. It's about this inspirational message that I weave in through the truth, which is News in Motion, and then the resources that we use. Now, I have more than 1,000 followers on my Facebook page. I have more than 1,000 followers on my Instagram page. I have more than 1,000 followers on my Twitter page. And I'm just thinking, if we can just all get our friends and family, hey, join this YouTube. And tell them not to delete it after they join it, because it has to be there to show consistency that we have these followers. So if you would do me a favor and don't just put the link on your social media, but tell them why you want them to follow. Don't give them the sponsorship information. I'm telling that with you because we're friends. I'm sharing, you can say News in Motion has an opportunity, or I've been listening to News in Motion and I'm asking you to please join, subscribe to this person's YouTube, give them the YouTube link. I need y'all to help be my voice this weekend. Thank you for staying in agreement with me. Y'all need to vote for her. Franklin County, is it Franklin County Court of Appeals or Franklin County Court? Please put that on there, please. So please and thank you. That would mean the world to me, and I don't have to keep telling y'all to cash at me, which I hate doing it anyway. But you always, of course, want to sew in where you're getting any type of information, especially when it's like what we're doing here as a ministry venture. So if y'all would all do that with my YouTube, please, I would greatly appreciate it. Share with your base. Tell them why you want them to follow. Not tell them about the sponsorship. I'm just sharing that with you. But to tell them, hey, please subscribe to Gail Dudley's YouTube and do it today. Do it immediately. So that when they go and look at it on next Wednesday or Thursday, we have met that number. They came to me. So that's a good sign. Franklin County Domestic Relation and Juvenile, that was a long term. But no, you got it, girl. You got it. Yes. We are standing with you all the way. We are standing with you. Okay, y'all, that's all I have. Happy Friday. Oh, did y'all bring y'all's mimosas with y'all today? Got mine. Happy Friday. Until Monday, I am Gail Dudley right here, 7:25 a.m. If God allows me to rise and shine on Monday. Patricia Allen, you late, sister. Just hit the replay, girl. Just hit the replay. I am Gail Dudley. I love you, love all of you. Y'all, next week starts week 15. We've been doing this Monday through Friday for 15 weeks. I'm excited about it. All right, y'all gotta go over to IGTV. Love you, Gail Dudley. Mwah. Peace out.